Tu-95MS and MiG-31K Russia launched missiles massively, Ukraine warned the whole country. Kyiv accused North Korea of sending Hwasong-11 missiles to Russia to attack Ukraine. President Putin stated that Russia does not refuse dialogue with the West. NATO member countries consider reopening borders with Russia. Tu-95MS and MiG-31K Russia launched missiles massively, Ukraine warned the whole country. This morning, May 8, for the second time in a row, Ukraine issued a red alert across the country due to the danger from a series of missiles launched from Russia's MiG-31K and Tu-95MS aircraft. Ukrainska Pravda reported that early this morning local time, Ukrainian air defense continued to sound air defense alarms across the country after detecting Russia's MiG-31K taking off for the second time. The warning read, MiG-31K has been recorded taking off. Do not ignore the air attack signal. After that, updated information said that the missile flew towards Stry, in the Lviv region. Previously, Russian Tu-95MS strategic bombers conducted an air raid on Ukraine. An airstrike warning was issued in all regions of the country and in Kyiv. According to information from the Ukrainian military, a missile appeared in the country's airspace at 3:59 a.m. local time this morning in the Belopoli area of the Sumy region, heading southwest. At 4:02 a.m., a cruise missile was detected from the south of the Nikolaev region in the direction of the Kirovograd region. At 4:06 a.m., the alert called on Mirgorod residents to take shelter. Then, consecutively from 4:10 a.m. to 4:19 a.m., cruise missile warnings appeared in turn in Kropyvnytsky, Nikolaev, Kryvyi Rog, Cherkasy, Sumy, and Poltava. At 4:23 a.m., the missile from Kamenka changed direction toward the Kyiv region. From 4:25 a.m. to 5:20 a.m., a series of warnings appeared in Kirovograd, Vinnytsia, Sumy, Lubny, Poltava, Cherkasy, Dnieper, Kyiv, Zhytomyr, Ivano-Frankivsk, Lvov. It was not until 6:05 a.m. that the air defense alarm ended. Kyiv Independent reported that Russia launched a large-scale attack on Ukrainian cities in the early morning of May 8. Accordingly, Russia launched a series of cruise missiles and ballistic missiles, as well as Shahid-type drones. Ukraine's energy ministry said energy infrastructure was attacked in the provinces of Poltava, Kirovorad, Zaporizhia, Lvov, Ivano-Frankivsk and Vinnytsia. Damage is being investigated and work is underway to restore power and generating capacity. Regional Governor Philip Pronin said on Telegram that the extent of the damage was unknown. However, in Poltava, Russian UAVs attacked an important infrastructure, causing a fire. Residents also said they heard an explosion in Kyiv at around 5:30 a.m. local time. The Kyiv Oblast Military Administration also reported explosions around the Kyiv region, near the capital. In the town of Brovary in Kyiv, a fire broke out at a civilian infrastructure due to a Russian missile strike, Mayor Igor Saposko said. 2 people, a 62-year-old woman and a 34-year-old man, were hospitalized after the attack. The attacks began at around 4:30 a.m. with multiple explosions reported in Zaporizhia, Ivano-Frankivsk and Poltava oblasts. Ukrainian air defense forces have been active across all regions of Ukraine, including in Kyiv and as far west as the city of Lvov. As of 6:30 a.m., the Kyiv City Military Administration said they had shot down all missiles launched at the capital. Kyiv accused North Korea of sending Hwasong-11 missiles to Russia to attack Ukraine. The Ukrainian side said it had examined some Russian missile fragments used to attack Ukraine and suspected them to be Hwasong-11, a North Korean missile. Ukrainian state prosecutors said they examined fragments from 21 of about 50 ballistic missiles they believe were North Korean and used by Russia to attack Ukraine from late December 2023 to late February 2023. Today, Reuters reported on May 7. The Ukrainian side believes that these missiles are Hwasong-11 missiles. The office of Andriy Kostin, Ukraine's top prosecutor, said that the failure rate of these missiles seems to be very high. About half of North Korea's missiles lost their program trajectory and exploded in mid-air. In such cases, the debris is not collected, Kostin's office said. The prosecutor's office said that if it is not possible to collect rocket fragments, they will consider their flight trajectory, speed, and launch location. Mr. Kostin's office said that Russia used Tu-11 missiles to attack the capital Kiev and the provinces of Kharkiv, Poltava, Donetsk, and Kirovohrad. The prosecutor's office said the last time Russia used the Tu-11 missile was on February 27, adding that the total number of launches recorded by the agency coincided with intelligence that North Korea transferred about 50 ballistic missiles to Russia. The U.S. side believes that Moscow received ballistic missiles and artillery shells from Pyongyang after North Korean leader Kim Jong-un met Russian President Vladimir Putin last September. Russia and North Korea have not yet commented on the information given by Ukraine. President Putin stated that Russia does not refuse dialogue with the West. In his speech after being sworn in, Russian President Putin announced that national security will remain a top priority in his new term. He also emphasized that Russia has never refused dialogue with the West. Russian President Vladimir Putin gave a speech after being sworn in for his fifth term. At the beginning of the speech, Mr. Putin thanked the Russian people in all provinces of the territory, including those who are fight for the fatherland. President Putin emphasized that national security will remain a top priority in his new six-year term. He affirmed that the Russian people are a united and great people and that the Russian people will together overcome difficulties, realize all plans and win. We will decide for ourselves the destiny of Russia, for today's generation and future generations. I believe that we will overcome the current difficult period and become stronger and stronger. I pledge that the interests and safety of the Russian people will always be the highest priority, Mr. Putin said. The Russian leader also emphasized that his government has never refused a dialogue offer from the West despite their efforts to prevent Russia's development. We are always open to the prospect of deepening friendly relations with all countries that consider Russia a reliable and honest partner. They make up the majority globally. We do not refuse dialogue with Western countries. The choice is theirs, Mr. Putin said. According to Mr. Russia can negotiate on issues of security and strategic stability, but not from the perspective of strength, but from the perspective of equality. After Mr. Putin's brief speech, the artillery battery began firing a 30-gun salute outside the Kremlin. This is the largest number of cannon rounds fired in Russian military ceremonies, because the president is also the commander-in-chief of the Russian armed forces. NATO member countries consider reopening borders with Russia. Checkpoints on Finland's border with Russia are likely to reopen for passenger traffic after the new migration law is passed. Finnish Defense Minister Antti Häkkänen confirmed to media outlet Etelä-Saimaa on May 7 that checkpoints on Finland's border with Russia are likely to reopen for passenger transport after the migration law just passed. RT quoted this official as saying the border exception law could be approved by the end of this month. Finland, which previously joined NATO in 2023, closed its eastern land border at the end of November and banned goods from several ports after more than 1,300 people sought asylum, mainly from Africa and Middle East, cross Russian territory to apply for entry within 4 months. Migrant flows were previously estimated to average several hundred people per year, and the Finnish government asserted that Moscow was responsible for this flow of people. The border law is currently being finalized and will be considered by Parliament within the next week or two, Minister Häkkänen affirmed during a visit to the city of Lappeenranta, near the Finnish-Russian border. He added that the law is expected to take effect soon. In March, the Finnish government announced plans to introduce temporary legislation to limit the weaponization of migration. The law will allow the government to restrict the reception of applications from asylum seekers trying to enter Finland from Russia. According to Minister Häkkänen, once passed, the law may allow passenger transportation at some border crossing points in southeast Finland.